Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome. Today we're gonna be actually checking out Liz Relic, the new Danafor Liz Relic. So in PvE, we are gonna get a 50% attack buff for 3 turns, and for farming, this is kind of huge, especially if you don't have like a crazy maxed out team. This is gonna help you get that extra edge on most farming teams. For me, this is the team I've been using to farm for a bit, and the reason I'm using this is because it auto applies debuffs, and every single one of these units have like a weak point hitting card, so no matter what, it's gonna prioritize like a weak point AoE for every single hit. So no matter what, if you're farming gold with this or most things, you would most likely turn one clear it like every phase. So yeah, I'm gonna start it out. Let's do some gold farming. So if you don't have like these specific units or have like a few of them, you can just slot in basically any other units that have AoE potential, like Merlin, Melly, Chad King, Echidna. There's quite a bit of units like you can change out if you can make this exact combination of units. So I don't think it's gonna be really holding you back. And with the 50% extra damage you're gonna be doing, it's no matter what. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be gold farming this reasonably fast. It shouldn't be holding you back whatsoever. This comp I use basically to farm almost everything, because I farm gold with this, I farm cosmetic upgrades with this. So this comp really just does a lot for what it's made to do, and now it's like even better because I was using this comp before the Danafor Liz update, so now it's even stronger. But what I'm basically going to be doing in this video, I'm going to be going through just a bit of the stages, just farming them through with a few teams. This is one of the teams, but I will be like trying to test out some other combinations that I find are really strong. And basically 2 turn farm the more hard like SA coins. And I can't farm the other one because I don't have like two. I don't have two of the thingies, so I can't farm both. What I really like about this is she makes it so much easier to farm the higher tier stuff. Like before, like when I'm using certain comps, my teams would sometimes lack DPS. Because when I'm using Roxy to like farm sometimes, she would not like be able to fully kill certain things. So I ended up like opting to not use her instead. Especially for SA coin farming, my Roxy is now like the bestest choice. But now that she has a relic, we have a Danafor Liz upgrade from the backline, I can actually use this team. This team goes nuts when farming. If you're manually farming it, it's gonna be pretty fast. This is the other team. I will be testing that out after. That's the one I normally use to like auto, so it should be way more consistent now. But I don't think I really need it because it was already like a 2 turn clear. But the one I'm more excited to test out is the Roxy one because that's a manual clearing one. Yeah, so by manually clicking it, it's way faster. Because on auto, it's gonna take like a bit extra time. It feels like it just takes like an extra second or so. But for this, it's pretty fast, and you don't really need like a third card for the second stage. It's gonna be an Escanor and like Roxy hit, and that's it. That should kill. Because with the extra damage now, yeah, with this extra damage here, it's like a 2 hit easily. Also, yeah, with Roxy's Relic, it's gonna be helping a decent bit. You can literally reset this if you don't want like a 1 extra drop as well. You see like you're aiming for more because the speed you do this at, it's so fast. Like you can reset quite a bit extra amount of times as compared to before. You can see the damage Roxy does is crazy. Because more than likely you're gonna be resetting SA coin dungeon farming if you don't get a drop, and having a lot of extra time is very much vital to how much you are able to come out of this dungeon with. And trust me, sometimes while farming this with like the auto team, it can come down to the wire because it's decently slower. Yeah, so tier Escanor team. I know when I'm farming this for a less stressful experience. Basically, what I do, I just leave it on auto, and I just look at it while it's clearing. So I don't really need to click anything. But sometimes what would happen is like the RNG would mess up because there are certain merges with that would can't make you want to like cancel it, and you'll have to manually click it because it'll make you have to go through one extra turn, which is pretty annoying. But for the most part, it should get like the RNG perfect as long as you don't get like a stupid merge in the beginning. It should go through the process of like a tier AoE into Escanor AoE into Escanor Finger, and that should be the clear for phase one. And if you get a drop, you just let it keep rolling because it's just gonna automatically like just kill the second phase and just re-roll into another fight instantly for you. So you don't. It's less clicking, but it's gonna take like just a bit longer. Like if you're really in a rush, the Roxy team is probably way better. But that's if you want to do it manually. Auto is just like it has a slight drawback, so yeah. That's just how it is every single time. Yeah, like you don't get a drop here, you easily just once you don't see the drop in the top left, you can just leave. Like as long as you don't see the chest, you just leave, and just come back in, and just you can just set it back to auto, and you should be fine. But trust me, while on auto, you can your attention can go elsewhere, and it would kill the stage. And sometimes I would be missing drops, so that is a thing that happens to me quite a bit because I wouldn't be paying attention, and it'll just kill the phase, and I would even realize if I had gotten an extra drop or not. So that's something that really does happen. But as long as you pay attention and you see the drop there, you just let the auto keep rolling, and it'll consistently just clear for you. This is very nice. As for this team, there's another team I use with tier as well. But that's the one, it just like you're buffing up tier to just one-shot everything basically. But I really stopped using it because sometimes the follow-up plays for some of these farming stages is just like the DPS is just not there. They just stopped using it. Okay, so this one is a cosmetic upgrade one, right? The thing with this one, he's getting like a damage reduction because we have buffs. But going into this, I didn't really know like how bad it would be. So I just decided, you know what, we'll test it anyway, see the results. And to my actual surprise, this was not as bad as I thought it would be. Because I'm thinking 50% damage reduction, that's actually huge. And we're getting the 50% back basically from the buff. But I thought like we won't be able to like 2-turn this. It might be 3 turns, but while testing this, it actually just 2 turns this easily. So pretty fast. And I did try with both teams just to make sure. Like it's just not one team. So yet again, pretty easy clears. And yeah, the weak point damage cards just go nuts, as you can see. For this, I'm not sure like if the Merlin comp and like Ekina comp would do us good because the weak point is doing like a bit of extra damage. So I'm not sure about like the other units because it can be way less damage because of the cards they have. So I think if you're having that problem, you might need to swap to the other team instead. Because Escanor is pretty good. And even if you don't get like a 2-turn guarantee, it's still a 3-turn clear, more than likely. So for farming, these stages it's pretty fast farming. Yeah, I had to test this just to make sure it's like enough, like just to check and see if this would be enough to actually get the two turn clears as well. Because I know like most people might not have Brunhilde or even Philo, and my Philo is pretty free to play, so like she's bare minimum. I mean, she's missing like the free to play cosmetic as well, the one you need to buy. She's missing that one. So actually seeing her like able to like two turn farm most of these stages is pretty good. Escona not targeting the guy with like the most HP here is kind of dumb, but we are still able to get the two turn clear. Another thing I did was I did test her out on Bellmoth farming, because she is like on the main team for Bell, and I think like she already does decent damage. Now it's just gonna be even better. And for the most part, you're gonna have like Thonar's buff active, so an extra 50% damage is just gonna like chew your damage into the sky. That literally means you don't really need to lean back on more for like a different DPS, because her cards now are gonna be doing way more damage. Oh yeah, and I am doing these with like AI, just so you know. I don't think the AI that I'm doing this with has the relic, but it's fine. I think I am able to more than carry this. Like regardless if like it doesn't like do too much damage, I'm pretty sure my damage overlaps pretty good. Like his stab does 190, 191. That's actually amazing. So even without it, like he's still doing crazy damage. So yeah, pretty good damage. Got to see her like actually being able to like perform like way better now. That's just her alone, and like you have one more. You most of the time you're gonna have like one extra DPS with you, so there's no way you fail this. There's one more thing I did. I'll just show like snippets of it because I don't think it's like really viable. And plus, while doing this with the I didn't really get to use my cards that much. So yeah, OG Demon. I'll just cut out like certain pieces, but I think it does stack. But while doing this with an AI, I can't really showcase much of my damage because the AI is gonna like push through a decent bit of DPS. I think it just clears like the phase 2 on its own. So yeah, the 50% buff does stack with the end, which is amazing. So yeah, it does stack as I'll show you here. So yeah, it does stack. That alone, I think it would help a lot of people, especially if you don't have Dian. An extra buff from somewhere is very nice to have. Danafor Liz comes through pretty decently. I think this relic was not really needed, but it's pretty good to have, and it's gonna be seeing a decent bit of usage. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Hope this helped in some way, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, y'all. Peace.